Cardinal Patriarch of Enchanting Venice, and finally the universal pastor of the global Catholic Church. A passionate advocate of social justice and world peace, he revolutionised the way in which the Church engaged with the wider world. He took an active interest in world politics and promoted dialogue incessantly. Indeed, he was also instrumental in helping to transform the attitude of the official Church towards other Christians and peoples of other faiths, and hence he encouraged and instigated new church bodies to oversee such dialogue. He was instrumental in helping to calm global tensions during the Cuban Missile Crisis. His teaching style was of a very different tone and substance to that of his predecessors, and theologians enjoyed much greater freedom to pursue their work and to explore pressing questions thanks to his pontificate. Many scholars previously deemed suspect were brought in from the cold thanks to his pontificate, and they in turn would leave their own deep and lasting impressions upon the Church and its teaching. But his greatest achievement would be the calling of the Second Vatican Council, which took place between 1962 and 1963. He called the council in order, he said, to bring the Church up to date, for which he used the Italian word aggiornamento. Stating that those in the Vatican were not the curators of a museum, this genial pastor, believed by many to have been appointed as a caretaker pope only, would usher in a process that would leave the Church forever transformed in each and every aspect of its life. Although John only lived to preside over the first period of the council, his vision and character permeated much of its work right through to the final session and beyond. Thanks to Vatican II, the Church's organisation, liturgy, global outlook, teaching and self-understanding were all transformed. Its relations with other Christians, faiths and people of no faith were likewise radically changed for the better. The Church became a more open church in many respects, and it embraced the modern world at last, vowing to learn from the signs of the times. This monumental part of the story of the Church would merit a special section in an account of the Church's story written at any future point of history, so great were the changes and transformations in a Church that it helped inspire. But the story is neither as exclusively positive nor radically revolutionary as some accounts suggest. Many oppose the changes which Vatican II brought in, and have continued to challenge aspects of its legacy down to the present day. Similar divisions are reflected in assessments of John's legacy too. And John had plenty of battles to face within the Church in the lead-up to the Council and during its first session. Some have elevated John to the status of global diplomatic genius. Others, such as England's Archbishop, later Cardinal Heenan, spoke rather of a kindly parish priest-type figure of modest intellect. How might we try to discern the true character and nature of Papa Giovanni? Of course, Pope John was no radical and faced numerous critics from both right and left alike. Women petitioned for participation in the council from the moment it was announced, yet no official female auditors would be present until the third session, long after John's death. Critics of the official Church's tragic and criminal mishandling of the clerical abuse crisis also point to John's endorsement of the March 1962 document, Crimen Solicitationis, which appears to have been one of the earliest documents sent to bishops around the globe, which made secrecy and cover-ups official Church policy with regard to offending clerics. But John spent much of his papacy having to think several steps ahead of his own Roman Curia, the Vatican Civil Service. He was also a moral realist, realising both precisely what the Church and world might be ready for in terms of change and what they were not yet ready to embrace. He was courageous and outspoken when necessary. For example, he single-handedly helped transform the Church's official attitude and prayers towards the Jewish peoples. And he is honoured and remembered with great appreciation by various official Jewish bodies for his courageous work both during the Holocaust and as Pope. Indeed, good Pope John, as he is frequently termed, presided over one of the most transformative papacies in the entire history of the Church. That it was also such a short pontificate makes his achievements all the more remarkable. Beatified in 2000 and soon to be canonized, this poor boy travelled a very long way indeed. With a keen and sensitive eye for the importance of history and also of the transitory nature of even the Church's own impact upon it, the genial pastor will be judged by history to have been a truly good pope who really did open up the doors of the Church and enabled the refreshing winds of change to blow throughout its many rooms and corridors. He was a genuinely holy and compassionate soul who left a deep impact upon so many of the people who encountered him, as well as upon the Church and world alike. He has, therefore...